Comic books' influence on World War II. 1941. Europe had just set its sights on America. The president had just issued a top-secret defense plan. A patriotic young Steve Rogers was too weak to be enlisted, so he volunteered for a dangerous scientific experiment. He was injected with a strange liquid that made him stronger than ever. Captain America was born. During World War II, comic books had reeked of propaganda. Superheroes had already joined the war even before America had. Due to Submariner's independent nature, the writers thought it best to keep him out of the war. But by early 1940s, he was already keeping Atlantic shipping lanes open for British and American vessels.
In the realm of comic books, the United States itself becomes a battleground. Defending against foreign spies and Nazi saboteurs, the Human Torch defends a U.S. munitions building from Nazi invasion.
The destroyer was fighting Nazis in every issue. In the first issue of Captain America, it shows the captain punching Hitler in the face. Comic books helped unify America with one common eagle, the Axis. The Axis was a league in World War II that featured Nazi Germany, Japan, and Italy. Jungle comics were comics of superheroes that grew up in the jungle to become lords, kings, or sometimes gods of the jungles they grew up in. Suddenly their existence is threatened by evil Nazi forces controlling local tribes. But the hero will always save the day from Nazi rule, further binding America with one common hatred. Comic books weren't just used for spreading hatred, however. The OWI, Office of War Information, asked comic books to raise morale as a contribution to the war. When people weren't sure who they could trust, comic books reassured them that their good old German American neighbor was just that, American. Comic books were a huge help in funding the war. It was a huge source of entertainment, so there was a lot of people buying comic books. 15 million comic books were being sold each month in 1942, and by December 1943, it had advanced to 25 million. It wasn't just the comic books that were selling. The heroes themselves were helping fund the war. Superman asked people to donate to the Red Cross, a Swiss-inspired organization that aided injured soldiers. Batman and Robin inspired kids to buy war bonds and stamps. And in a time of food rationing and recycling, Captain America and his sidekick Bucky showed their faithful readers how to collect paper and scrap metal. Comic books were also involved in foreign affairs. It involved our allies, Britain, and with a little change in image, China. Before Pearl Harbor, comic books portrayed Chinese people as mysterious villains who wanted racial domination. But after Pearl Harbor, Chinese people became a peaceful, albeit rather simple, people. Britain had always been portrayed positively in comic books. When Daredevil sneaks into Hitler's citadel just to punch Hitler himself in Daredevil Battles Hitler, he meets the Winston Churchill to discuss war strategies. Even though comic books have positively influenced American politics, there has been negative influences as well. Africans from comic books were often depicted as superstitious and easily manipulated brutes. In Daredevil Battles Hitler, the Royal Navy sinks an Italian fleet which, brings a clownish Mussolini to tears. After Pearl Harbor, Japanese people were fitted with disgusting stereotypes. Comic books have positively influenced American politics during World War II, even though there have been some negative influences.